Welcome back to Middle of the Road, a podcast for runners and would-be runners with busy schedules and big appetites. My name, as ever, is Christy Luke Jones. Sitting next to me, the bodger to my badger, the wren to my stimpy. It's UR1. How's it going, man?
It's going great, thank you.
Excellent. What have we got planned for this? Which is what? Which episode are we on now?
We're on episode 4, but in terms of like training, it should be week 3.
Week 3. Okay, perfect. What have we got planned, man?
I think because we've both been off, so
Yes.
we're gonna go through that in a bit. But I think the main topic we'll cover is interruptions.
Okay.
So sort of like as we been on holidays that come
Yep.
come into
Yeah.
it,
So
and
any kind of points where life gets in the way of running. So holidays, work commitments, and just having a social life generally, because you don't want to be running all day every day.
yeah,
you know.
sometimes friends and family pop round and things like that.
Yeah,
and
this
come
isn't-
up and
Yeah, it isn't that kind of podcast. We're if you haven't guessed by now, we like to have fun as well. So interruptions is our big one today. But mainly, as you said, we've both been on holiday. Did you do any running on holiday? What did you do?
So I went to Basel,
Switzerland.
for a week. Good old mountain-sized country. Loads of country areas to run and walk, and I've done none of that. Really.
None of that. You must have walked a bit.
To be honest, actually, I have walked. So I've walked So the way I worked it out was I was playing Pokemon Go, and I hatched 5 eggs, 5-kilometer eggs.
It's pretty
over
sweet.
that time. So I've done 25 kilometers. I know.
What's that in real money? 18 miles? Yeah, 25 kilometers, 18 miles?
Maybe.
Yeah, 18
Yeah.
miles. Yeah.
Even though I know I have I wear a Fitbit as well, and
Yeah.
I could have looked at that instead, but instead I decided to use my Pokemon Go as a guidance of how much I've done.
Again, that for you, like you said before, that for you as well is a motivator, isn't it? It's not just like a guide. Like if you were probably just looking at your Fitbit, it would have less of a motivating factor than you hatching these pocket monsters.
Pocket
I know
monsters.
I'm not meant to sound like... Yeah, but that's your motivator, isn't it? You're playing that game, and the whole covering distance thing is just a byproduct of that. It's a happy side effect.
Yeah, it's a happy side effect, but it's a bit frustrating.
What, the walking side or the
Well, I want
catching
to
the Pokemon?
hatch quicker though. I
Okay.
want to get it,
Okay.
but I have to walk it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I can't really get around it.
Thank you, Mr. Pokemon, because otherwise you wouldn't have walked, would you? So yeah, there we go.
But yeah, apart from that, that's it. Walked, pretty much discovered parts of the city I didn't know.
Mhm.
Well, it was my first time there, so I kind of didn't know the city at all, really. But sort of areas that I wouldn't even considered. Went to like the old town of Basel.
Nice. Yeah, Basel's nice actually.
Yeah, went down a couple of streets that, I wouldn't even have interested me.
But it's good because for you that was the way you did it. You didn't feel the need to get up and run in the morning, but at the same time, you didn't slouch around too much. You walked and.
Yeah, but I don't know what you think about it, but because almost like say like what our regime was when we were out there was we get up at probably 8 in the morning, have breakfast, then we go for a walk, then we have lunch, and then we get back to the place that we're staying, and then we actually go to sleep for like 3 hours.
You got to recharge.
Like 4, 5 maybe, and then go and have dinner.
Nice.
Walk a little bit and then sleep for the rest of the day.
This thing is like we're all saying on this podcast, or what I have been saying for the last few weeks, is you've got to take those rest periods, haven't you? And if you're on holiday and that's how you're feeling, you were catching up on sleep and stuff, that's only going to make you more able to run when you get back into
Exactly.
it.
So mentally, you can get those PBs.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah.
Physically.
Physically, no. But yeah, I'm sure you came back recharged, which is the key thing.
Yeah, recharged and a lot heavier. I had a lot of cheese though.
Yeah.
So fondues and raclettes.
Yeah. The less said about it, the better. But I was in Germany for 2 weeks, and it was a place that I used to study in at the top of Germany, up near Denmark. And I used to run there quite a lot actually when I was studying. So for me, I definitely had the intention of running before I went there.
You knew the routes.
Yeah, I knew the routes.
Yeah,
It was by the coast. It was always something I did like in between studying. Like it was a good stress relief thing. So I went there wanting to run, and I did. I did quite a few morning runs where I kind of get up, wouldn't eat anything. I'd just go straight out along the coast, do a 6 mile run, and because I wasn't having to rush to get to work, or I had time was my own. It felt really good, and I would get in, have a shower, then I was ready for the day. I could do whatever I wanted, and I could go out and know that I could eat a ton of food, and still feel pretty good about it, and know that I'd covered 10k 6 miles before the day had even started, and it was good. It made me feel good, and I found that also this is something I always say, that when I exercise, I eat better. So I was craving like real food as opposed to junk.
Okay.
So I'd have a good I'd have a big breakfast, but it'd be a good breakfast. It wouldn't just be sugary cereal. I'd actually go and have a proper breakfast after the run because I was hungry, and I wasn't just filling myself with empty calories. So for me that was good, and that meant that I kept my schedule going more than I thought I would.
Okay. So what kind of things do you eat?
So like I would just have a good like continental breakfast. So after a big run, I'd then go and have like salami, lots of nice breads, cheese as well, but like not a ridiculous amount. But I wouldn't. The thing is, if I'm at home and I'm about to go to work, I wouldn't run, and I'd have 2 big old bowls of like Frosties or something, and that's just no good. I'm gonna crash at like 11 a.m. But if I had like a big like bread, cheese, fruit, stuff like that, I'm set for the rest of the day, and I found myself eating a lot better than I would normally, and it was good.
I do find sometimes when you go on holiday, you do sometimes eat a little bit better, don't you?
I think you eat.
I don't know. I sometimes feel that like when in Basel we went to supermarkets a couple of times.
Yeah.
To buy a couple of things for lunch. Like fair enough, we did. I think that's the problem I find when you go to supermarkets in a foreign country. There are some snacks that just you're like, oh my god, I've not seen these. I'm gonna buy them.
I'm gonna get them. Yeah,
so
yeah.
These, like massive packets of I think each packet was like 300 grams.
Yeah.
And but it had like blue potato chips.
Yeah, you gotta get those.
It was like just naturally the potato was blue.
Wow.
I was like, I have to get them.
You can't not get that.
And I ate the whole packet. So.
Yeah, I was the same with beer in Germany. Like beers that I know that I really like that I can't get in the UK. I'm obviously gonna have some. And that was my thought process. Was like, if I go on that run in the morning, I can have as many beers as I want. That's how it works, right?
A beer per kilometre.
Yeah. But I also did, like, similar to you, I also did a load of walking. I made a point of, when I went to a couple of new towns and places that I'd never been to before, I was like, right, rather than getting on a bus, it's a nice day, I'm just going to walk it. And I walked pretty much from a town called Flensburg in the north of Germany. I walked all the way up to the Danish border, to this beach. And it was a good, like, I reckon it was 12 miles each way. I'm not kidding. I hammered it. But it was a lovely route, so I thought, why not? And it's just, I had the time to do it, which I wouldn't have.
I'm guessing you did this with other people.
Yeah. And
you're not just by yourself, you just
No. But it was just, it was having the time to do it. Like, I wouldn't have the time to do that on my normal day.
Yeah.
So for me, that was, holidays can be a time where you can do that. Because you've got the time and the day is your own, you can actually make a point of getting a load of fresh air and walking rather than going on the bus, which was great for me. And I came back, I'd actually lost some weight, even though I'd been eating a ton of shit. Like, I still, eating a lot. I still lost some weight.
Cool.
So, yeah. Thanks, Germany. Do you know what I mean?
Should go there more often.
Go there more often. I should live there. No, that wouldn't work, because I just go, it's the work thing, isn't it? You run out of time. But yeah, so for both of us, actually, it wasn't too much of an interruption to a training program.
Yeah, well, I guess so, because I did quite a bit of walking, but I didn't do any running though. But my diet wasn't great.
No.
I just ate. I don't know. When I go out, it's like go big or go home.
But I would argue that your diet on a day-to-day basis is better than mine. What are your thoughts on that? Come on.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
it is. So, for example, I'm not ashamed to say this. I am ashamed to say this, actually, but I might as well say it. You're looking at me like it's going to be something really weird. It's not that weird. So I bought a pack of 4 Magnums, okay? Yeah. Anyone who's listening in another country where Magnums are called something else, or I don't know, They're like these ice creams, stick ice creams. They're covered in chocolate. They're good. They're not awful for you, but they're not great for you. It's ice cream and chocolate. So I bought a pack of 4 because I had some people coming around. I was like, okay, I'll have one now. And then when my friends come around tomorrow, they can have one each.
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds like a good idea. So I ate one. And it had like almonds and stuff in it. I had not had one of those before. And I was like, wow, that was good. Maybe I'll have 2. And then maybe they won't want one tomorrow. And anyway, to cut a long story short, I ate all 4 Magnums.
In one sitting?
Just in one sitting.
In one day?
No, mate, in the space of about 10 minutes.
Oh, were you like watching anything? Or...
Yeah, I was. I was just watching something on Netflix. Can't even remember. But
think of the positive. You saved some freezer space.
I did. But what I'm saying is, like, that was a big lapse, and I'm not particularly proud of that lapse. But
a couple of days ago, I went when I went to cinema for dinner. I had decided to go for McDonald's, and I ordered a stand meal. I go, you know what? I'll order like a chicken burger on the side. So I ordered a meal and the little burger on the side. But yeah, the point of us saying that is, like we said before, it's not great when you have a lapse like that, but it's going to happen sometimes, unless you are literally the strictest, most disciplined person in the world. Things like that are going to happen. Maybe not to the extent of 4 Magnums, but things like that are going to happen. And in the 2 days following that, I hammered the running big time because I felt guilty about it. And it's just balancing the two. If you splurge on food like that, or you go out and have quite a few drinks, you just got to balance it out, and it will help you. It will keep you mentally. It will keep you balanced as well, because you're not having days and days and days of splurging and then feeling crap and your energy levels are low. It's balancing, would you say? Like, yeah, I think the most damaging thing I find when I look at how I eat is the snacking. Yeah. I think the main meal, sometimes you can get away with, like, if you do go out to eat and anything like that, but then because you supplement it throughout the day with, like, snacking, I mean, I know Magnum is a little bit of a anomaly in terms of snacking. Calling that a snack. Thanks, man. But that was a nice way of putting it. You fat bastard. Okay. But if you have a slice of cake or something. Yeah, 4 slices of cake. But yeah, I think it's good to reflect on what you've eaten, and I think if you have one of those weak moments where that happens, it's also good to reflect on kind of what you're going to need to do afterwards to balance that out in terms of calories and things. If you are trying to have a balanced lifestyle, you're not going to have to pay for that, but you're going to have to make up for that. But you have to pay for it as well. Yeah, exactly. It's a good deal, man. That's why I went in on it. But yeah, you've got to have that balance. You're going to have weak moments. You're going to have moments where, like, which is what we're talking about today, interruptions to schedules and things. But yeah, it's going to happen. And what was my point again? Well, I think in terms of food itself, I mean, it could be. I think that's like a topic in itself that we could do later on. Yeah. Just like how food tear-filled topic. Just like reading the calories on each of the packets throughout the episode. That's what we should do. We'll take our weekly schedule and then we'll just read the calories. That could be quite good, actually. We could do a week's worth. We could go on what's that? MyFitnessPal. We could literally count all of our calories for a week. Yeah. And have a look at it. I mean, it might have to be like a 2-hour episode. But, that's quite a good idea, actually. Yeah. Yeah. So the key is reflect on what you eat as well as how you train, and work out your balance, that makes you feel good and but also doesn't restrict you, I would say, from having fun. Yeah. But yeah, mostly that was an admission of my guilt. So today we're looking at interruptions. We've talked briefly about kind of how you might approach the interruption of a holiday. Yeah. But holiday is not the only kind of interruption. What kind of interruptions to your training schedule do you battle? I think, as you say, apart from holidays, like, I would like to just go back with the holidays. I think sometimes the big thing with holidays is you kind of that in advance. Yeah. So say because if you want to get a good deal on flights and stuff, so you would already have your 10-week training plan set, and then you can see you got your block holiday. Uh-huh. Sometimes you can plan to see what you do. If you got a good plan and then you go, oh, okay, I know I'm off that week, so maybe I'll just do a lot of walking, or actually, I know some people take their gym kit and do runs if the hotel has got a gym facility.
That's true, yeah.
They can do that. But I mean, my point of view, I'm not really a person that would take my gym kit on holiday.
Yeah.
Maybe a swim, like
swimming trunks, yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know about you. How you feel about holidays?
I think
you're a person that goes straight. But
I think for me, I'm quite a stressful person. I don't know if I mentioned that before on the podcast, but anyway, I'm quite a stressful person. So for me, going a week without doing any form of exercise and eating more than I normally would stress me out a little bit, and I would feel a little bit anxious. So for me to have the option of having a gym kit with me is good. Because if I really wake up and I'm like, oh man, I've been eating loads, I feel so guilty about that. Rather than ruin my day on holiday, feeling crappy and not wanting to eat anything that I want, going on that run in the morning or going to the hotel gym in the morning sets me up for my day. Like, I'm full of endorphins. I feel like, I've balanced out the eating a little bit more. And for me, that starts my day off well and allows me to enjoy my holiday a bit more.
I think you also have to take into account the type of holiday it is.
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago, we had a stag do in Edinburgh.
Yes.
So I made the mistake. So we went out for the night before.
Mm-hmm.
This was when you were not feeling too great.
Yeah,
the next day.
I was not in a good way.
So what I did was, because I got up at 6 a.m. just like normally.
Yeah.
And I decided to run.
Did you run?
Yeah, I ran in the morning 5 miles.
What?
On that day. Yeah. I ran for 5 miles.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Because when I got back, I was like showered and everything already, and everyone was still asleep.
Oh right, Jesus.
So yeah, I did not feel great on that.
And then you did kayaking. No, what did you do?
We went rafting.
Whitewater rafting.
I say we. I mean,
I didn't go. Yeah. Wow, that's impressive. So that is for you. That was the balance between the two. So you got back before anyone else had got up.
Yeah, I felt it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And then when I got into the first mile, I realised that this was the worst idea I've ever thought of.
But you carried on through.
Yeah, because I was like, I have to get back now.
And did it help you afterwards? Like,
no,
it didn't. Wow.
I mean, come on, we had a bit.
Let's edit that out. But yeah, the intention was that you wanted to wake up with that endorphin hit, get out in the fresh air, and kind of try and start your day a bit better.
Yeah, I think sometimes you have to learn. The thing is, with these things, sometimes you have to learn from your past mistakes. Because I did this in Vegas.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
Yeah.
And in the morning, I went for a run as well. But that was when we went to. I can't remember where we went to. I think we went to the place where it served like pizzas in the Bellagio. We were looking at the fountain.
Oh yeah.
And then we had a couple of drinks like afterwards.
Yeah.
And in the morning, I decided to go to the gym to run.
Wow.
And
you were better than me.
And then I regretted that.
Yeah, I think it's a tricky one really. You've got to kind of, as you would day to day as well. If you're feeling tired and you're feeling rough, or you're a bit hungover or whatever, you just got to weigh it up. You got to see how your body reacts. Like, some people will go on a run and that will kill their hangover. Some people will go on a run and feel worse.
Yeah.
Again, like you says, it's learning from your mistakes, whether it be with eating too much, drinking too much, knowing how many days to rest between big exercise. Yeah. It's just learning from your mistakes, and that's what we're looking at. It's what we're always saying. It's not a strict, predictable thing.
Yeah, because after that one in Edinburgh, I pretty much ate as much of that full English that we all cooked up.
See, for me, I was lying in the bath, hungover as hell, and then I was really feeling in a bad way. You guys went off rafting. I was left behind with one other guy that we were on the trip with, and we went for a walk actually outside, like a big hilly walk, and that sorted me out completely. Yeah. Being in the fresh air, doing exercise, but not ridiculous, intense exercise. I felt so much better.
I think the rafting made me feel better.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, right. It's just that thing. You got to know what effect endorphins will have on you, and generally it's positive. I mean, that's what they are. So yeah, that's how a holiday might affect what you're doing. It might
how it influences your life. How it just comes in, and you have a plan.
Yeah.
And just. It's almost like the reality of what it's like, because you kind of I could have not drink.
Yeah. But you're on a stag do, so
I was on a stag do, enjoying it with everyone. But yeah, I could have had an early night as well.
But yeah,
I could have been able to pick a bed after that night.
Exactly. Yeah. But so essentially, if you're going on holiday for the first time, having started your first ever training program with running, I would say take your kit with you. If you go on the first day and you think it's the best thing ever and it starts your day really well, keep on running. But have the option, try it out. It may not be for you. You may just want to enjoy your holiday.
I would say look at your, if you're going abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Look at your cabin bag and just say, can I fit those pair of trainers in?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean,
yeah,
you can't fit them in. Then there's no
yeah. But I would say if you can, go for it.
Don't lose sleep over it.
No. But if you can do it, go for it. Why not? Try it out.
Yeah. Right. So other things that kind of, I guess, come in the way of things in terms of interruptions. So from my point, I think you probably agree as well, is work and also, friends and family.
Yep.
Interruptions. So, I mean, from a work point of view, it's just more of sometimes your workload. It just you have a heavy day.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to finish a little bit late,
Mm-hmm.
or just in general, like it's weird. It's just like, even though you say, like, for me, it's more like an office desk kind of job. You kind of sit, even though you're sitting there all day, but it just mentally tires you out when it's quite full on and quite heavy.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. It is, it's mentally tiring.
Yeah, and then, I don't know, I just feel sometimes you get home and you just like,
I think that's the key thing. It's the same for me. If I go home, it's very unlikely that I will run or exercise. If I've got some sport lined up, something like football, which I find very motivating anyway, like intrinsically very motivating, I'll go and do it. But if it's something where I actually have to physically get myself out for a run, I will not do it if I get home.
Yeah, so I always find it's such a weird thing, because running, even though it's so simple in terms of you just need a pair of running shoes, just a little bit of basic sports gear, and you can just go out and run wherever.
Yeah.
But yet, when it comes to coming back from work, it's very easy just to be like, you know what, I can't be bothered.
It's a good point. It is. It's the simplest, low maintenance exercise ever, but psychologically, it can be a killer. Like, it can be a real battle with yourself to go and do it. They say, like, the first step out the door is the biggest one and the most important one, and it's true. It's so true. And
it's more like, from my experience, I for me, because I take the train into work.
Yeah.
So even the smallest thing, like if I come back and my train is delayed, that'll like ruin.
Yeah.
Ruin my sort of thinking in terms of running off. I'll be like, oh god.
Yeah.
So it took me like an extra, half an hour to get home.
So that's half an hour. I'd rather not kind of do with running. That's half an hour less kind of relaxation.
I don't even think of that. I was just like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like sitting on the train. I'll be like, I'll get back, go for a run, and then you get back, and even though it's half an hour later, but some people will think, oh, it's half an hour. I've wasted half an hour. I can't fit that in anymore.
Yeah.
But sometimes mentally, you're just like, oh, it just takes it out of you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, it's a similar thing. I've started taking my running kit to work, which has made a massive difference to me. Because I'll finish work and I'll go on a run around the kind of work area.
Okay.
And that helps me. It's finding something around your daily schedule. So for me, if I do that, I go on an awesome run, I clear out my head completely of all the kind of stresses of the workday. And from a practical point of view, I then miss all the rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
So I get home later, but I get home and I can just shower and chill out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wouldn't work on a day where I had kind of like, we'll get onto it, like something to do with family and friends afterwards. But I find particularly like a good day for me is Monday. Just had the weekend, you've just seen friends and family, you've had a good weekend. Monday, I find, is a good day to say, right, I'm going to do a run after work.
Yeah.
So my only real aim is to do a run. So I get it done, drive home, just still in my running gear, have a shower, then I chill out.
So you could say that's your way of getting around it. Sort of take the kit with the intention to run after work.
And I know,
or I guess other people could do it before or during lunch. I've seen people do it.
Yeah, it's whatever again, it's fitting it into your day, and finding psychologically what's the easiest way for you to go on a run. Like, how does your brain... You really got to look at how your brain works. So my brain works in the way that if I drive home, I'm never going to run. I'll get in and I'll be too tired. I'll be like, oh, I need to eat now.
Yeah.
If I run straight away, it's that instant pressure release of the day. Like they get all the day behind me, just going out, getting up from my seat and running. It is. It's finding how your brain works, isn't it?
Yeah, it is finding how your brain works and also how your routine works. So
Yeah.
I guess for me, the difference for me will be I try and incorporate it into my commute.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
See, I don't like doing that.
Yeah, my previous ones, you've seen like sometimes I run to a certain station and then go from there and go to work and shower and everything, or I cycle to work. If you're able to do it, then it's a easy way to almost like incorporate your commute time into.
See, that's such a personal thing because obviously that really works for you. That would not work for me. So if I like from a very basic point of view, I sweat a lot more than you, I would say, when we exercise. So on a very basic level, if I were to do some exercise before work or during lunch break, even if I had a shower, I'd be an absolutely sweaty mess when I got back to the office.
Yeah.
Like I would look bedraggled, and that would ruin my afternoon at work if I did it at lunch. So
and everyone else's.
But so that doesn't work for me, and I don't like to rush. In the if I were to do it in the morning, I don't like to rush having breakfast in the morning before work. I like to have a leisurely breakfast. So running for me would also mean I had to get up a lot earlier so that I didn't feel rushed. So again, for you, the commute exercising is great, and for me, it's not.
Yeah.
But until you try it, I don't think you know, because I tried it a few times and I felt like shit when I got back into the office. So again, like we always said, it's trying it out, isn't it? Particularly if you're starting running for the first time.
I think because I think also the trying out, you get to see little bits that you don't even sometimes you don't think of things. To say when I cycle to work, the things that I think that I realised that I could easily plan ahead is on one of the days, almost like my rest day when I take the train in, I bring like a full week of work gear to change in. Yeah. Because that saves so much time.
As in you take it into work and then... Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that'll be my set for the week.
Yeah.
We have like a gym at our work. Yeah. A gym downstairs.
So you just chuck in a locker and then...
Yeah, chuck in a locker and then, the days I cycle in, I go down into the locker, pick it out, and then there's like an ironing board.
See, that is a good point. That is kind of adapting your... That's slotting in your run or your cycle into your work day as easy as you can. Make it easy for yourself. Make it, I guess what we're saying is make the run or the cycle or the exercise as easy as possible to do.
It almost feels like I'm so lazy, that's what I need to do, but
it's not. It's like, but it's like, it's a battle, isn't it? It's a battle and you're making it easier for yourself. You're setting things up so that the chances of you saying, I can't be bothered to do this are lower, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, you will meet some people who are like, I have no problem running every day. I love it.
Yeah.
I guarantee that a large proportion of people listening to this will not have that mentality, or they'll have to grow into that mentality. I'm one of those. You're one of those. Like it doesn't come naturally. Just be like first thing in the morning, go and run.
I think assess it like we're probably more people that love sport rather than fitness in a sense. So we would probably like play football hours on end. I would. Like as example, badminton, tennis, or whatever.
Yeah. I would never say no. I would never say no to it.
Yeah.
Even if injured, I would be like, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. But running, we do have to motivate ourselves.
Yes.
And it's just moving your little life elements around like a chessboard so that it's. Oh god, I'm not good with chess metaphors. Yeah, make it easy for yourself. I don't even play chess. God's sake.
But yeah. So
yeah, work it out. It's like a recipe. There we go. I like to eat, so I can do this metaphor. It's like a recipe. Change it slightly until you've got it just right, and then go with it.
Yeah, and add some sugar.
So that's holidays. That's work. And I guess the last one is social life. So family and friends. Yeah. What's your approach to this? I mean, I think I know your approach to it, but go on.
My approach to it?
Yeah, to family and friends, and like how you would fit running around that.
I don't, because I just go out.
That's what I mean. I was expecting that. You're pretty fluid with it. So if you had an opportunity to go out for dinner, for example,
just go out.
Running would just go out the window for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if say I was planning to run this evening, for like half an hour, and then you go, hey, do you wanna meet up in half an hour's time? I'll be like, okay, and I'll just like, I'll run tomorrow.
Yeah, so that's one side of the track. The other side of the track is me. If I was planning to go on a run, and someone said to me, oh, let's go and eat, let's go out for dinner, or let's go to the cinema, my instant reaction would be to be anxious. I'd be like, oh, but I'm not going to get my run in, and I'm going to be going out for a meal. So I would be anxious because I'd be like, okay, not only am I missing out on the run and the benefit that that's going to give, but I'm also eating more, or I'm eating something rich, or, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, that is a challenge. So if you're like me and you think that will happen, that by missing the run, you will feel a bit more stressed and you won't get the same benefit you would from doing the run, then again, it's moving your life around to do it. So in those circumstances, I might get up half an hour earlier.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't normally do, as I've just discussed, and go on a run in the morning.
Fair enough.
Or I would try and fit something else in. I would, when I was going for lunch, during my lunch break at work, I would walk. Mm-hmm. I would do something to counterbalance that psychological side. Just there's quite a few hills around my office, so I'd literally do a loop. I mean, there's no loss to that.
So
like,
I was thinking like Greg's.
No. But I would get out of that. I would get fresh air. I'd get like some exercise, so that when I went out in the evening, I wouldn't feel so bad about the fact that I haven't, gone on my normal run.
You actually, thinking about like my past couple of weeks, the one thing strangely, I would say, that I would probably run is park run. Mm-hmm. In terms of that, if someone says, "Oh, you free in the morning?" I got a park run. So then I'll ask, "Is it like what are we meeting for, or something like that?"
Yeah.
And
okay.
if it's not like something that important and can be like, "Oh, we'll just meet for lunch," then I'll do the park run.
Okay, I wonder why that is. Is it because park run's a little bit more structured and is with loads of other people? Do you think it kind of almost?
With loads of other people.
Do you think it kind of, for you, it kind of almost ticks a few of the boxes that football or badminton or that kind of, it feels like a social activity almost?
Yeah, I guess so. Even though you don't really socially interact,
no,
you're probably more out of breath to do any of that.
But it's a community thing, isn't it? So so the difference for you between, I mean, this is a good plug for park run. The difference for you between park run and running on your own is that park run you'd happily kind of, you've got more motivation to do park run than you would just getting out and running on your own. Yeah, I mean that is a good plug for park run. It's also a good plug for, you might be a social runner. You might need other people around you, which I think we've discussed before, haven't we?
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I think it's just finding that balance, finding what's going to make you feel good and what's going to keep you from feeling like your schedule has been interrupted or...
Yeah, because I think sometimes the only other things in terms of friends and family, I think it also depends on where you're at in life in general. So sometimes it will just be something simple as birthdays. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it can be, we're at the stage where probably some of our friends will be like, it's their son or daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
Do you want to go over?
Yeah.
It's just like those little bits that just comes in the way, or if suddenly, your family pops around, just say, "Oh yeah, we're just around in the neighborhood."
Yeah.
With our kids.
Unexpected stuff. I think. I think. What would you say for that? Again, it's kind of, as you start your training program, it's getting used to whether you're better off planning ahead for that, and kind of if you're someone that likes to plan in their social activities around their running, or
kind of a little bit. I think if you're able to, I think sometimes if you do feel like you would like to run, then generally do try and arrange it a little bit around it. So say like if you're meeting someone for lunch and you're like, oh, actually I do like a run, then, and you feel motivated to do it, then you can push it a bit earlier. But I think the thing to try not to do, I don't know your opinion on it, is not make it up. In terms of, say, like you think today, okay, I'm not going to run today, but tomorrow I'm going to do a double run, or something like that. Like don't fall into that trap of thinking that doing that will make it up, because that's the big thing for me.
I think you're totally right, and I think that kind of nicely ties together all the things we talked about: holidays, work commitments, family, and friends. Is that you can't feel guilty for life getting in the way of your running. Like, that's what we're trying to say. Like, you can't feel negatively because you haven't been able to fit a run in, or you've had to fit in a shorter run, because that kind of negative thinking will prevent you from enjoying it and prevent you from making it a positive part of your routine. I think that's definitely for me. If I feel guilty about not running, and then I'm like, oh, I've got to do 20 miles tomorrow, and I don't do that, then it's this negative spiral of guilt that would eventually end in me just feeling shitty about training in general.
Yeah, I think it is hard.
Yeah.
To resist that. It's almost like, if I don't know, just trying to think the best way to interpret this.
Yeah, I think it is for me anyway. It's the not feeling guilty and not being too hard on yourself, and seeing running and seeing exercise as a positive thing. However much you do, it is a positive thing, and you can't feel guilty if things get in the way, because that's got to be realistic, haven't you? So for me, this is completely my standpoint, any kind of interruption, whether it be holidays, work, or family and friends, it's going to happen. So just deal with it and find out what your best way of dealing with it is that's going to make you the less stressed.
If you feel motivated, then do act on it.
Yeah.
But if not, then, don't worry, don't kind of like...
Don't beat yourself up. Yeah.
It's like if you, say like on one day you eat a salad, and then the next day, don't think you can eat 2 whole pizzas because you're trying to make the calories for the day before.
You are looking really intensely at me right now, because that is what I would naturally do.
Yeah.
I think that's my naturally...
Not as in, that's what you would do. But...
Yeah, but that's how my mind would work, I think. So yeah, it goes both ways, doesn't it? Don't let guilt get in the way, but also don't think, because I've gone on a run today, I can then go and eat 20 burgers.
Yes.
Think logically, think realistically, basically. We could talk about this for ages, because this is like, it's all, the psychological aspect of it is really interesting, but we'll get onto that in future episodes. We'll go further into the psychological aspect. But in terms of what we're going to do next week, what are we thinking for episode 5?
I think it leads naturally next week, just sort of getting back into things. We came back from holiday.
Yeah. So
it's just almost like, how do we get back into the groove? Especially as, we're leading up to week 4 and 5 of the training plan. So you kind of got to get to a point where you're really nearing the peak of your training.
Yeah.
Before then you sort of taper it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where we're going to.
Okay, cool. So leave us your comments on whatever platform you're listening to this. We'd really appreciate it. We'd love to hear how you're getting on and what your reaction is to, and what your views are on running on holiday, or how you fit running around your busy schedule. We'll be back next week. Do you have a quote for us today, or have you been too busy on your holiday?
I've been busy on my holiday.
You've been too busy.
I have no quotes.
No quotes. We'll make sure we dock UR's pay for a week, and he'll have 2 quotes for week 5. All right, thanks a lot for listening, guys.